Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today, including a conversation I was just going to have with Betty and Gavin off the air. And Betty's like, I think maybe we should have this on the Aftercast because it's personal.
So let me recap what happened.
Yeah.
Wally was like, hey, tomorrow we're going to do
Tara Lee Cobble.
I've got 4 breaks on it, so it could be a coffee day.
Yeah.
Meaning he wants Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast. Sounds great.
Yeah.
But my question was, well, what happened to Bikini Ready?
Right.
And so that's where we left off.
Yeah, so I'm going on vacation in 2 weeks, and we're doing a cruise, but then it dawned on me.
You were going through all of these, making those smoothies and you're standing by it. Yeah. Well, except for Thursday. Thursday had a bump in the road.
I did have a bump on Thursday. But then on Saturday, when I was going to go get a coffee, the I didn't diet kicked in. I did not go get a diet or a coffee. I did not get a diet. On Sunday, my normal Sunday, go get my coffee and donuts for my wife. Mm-hmm. I did not do that. I chose not to. And so I was doing pretty good. And so, I'm down 2 pounds. So that's good. But it's Bikini Ready, it dawned on me, we're going out of the country and we're not going to the Caribbean. We're going to a place that is 60 degrees. I don't need to be Bikini Ready. I can cover this all up. So why am I killing myself here?
That's a great point.
Yeah. Actually, the real story is my wife, I don't think is in. And so if
she's not in, it's hard for you to be in.
Yeah, what's the point? Because then she was like...
Why do you say you don't think she's in?
Well, I think she'd like to be in, but she's like, you know what? And we're 55 years old. We're never going to look like we used to. I'm like, I know. But we could try a little, and stuff. And so I think she's out. And so when that happens, it just makes it harder on me to eat at home differently or, or it makes me like, if you're not going to do it, why am I doing it? Mm-hmm. And so teamwork makes the dream work.
So I guess what I'm going to learn in this situation, this scenario, is that if this happens again and you're like, I'm going on a diet.
Yeah.
If Marty's not on board, we just know it's a matter of time.
Exactly. A matter of, in this case, about 5 days, maybe 7 days.
Well, if we count Thursday, it was 3.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a good 3 days.
Yeah. It was a really good 3 days. I tried really hard. So I think that's where I'm at. I'm still going to drink my smoothies in the morning because I actually do enjoy them. Mm-hmm. So today I had smoothies and a small bag of Cheez-Its. That's my breakfast. And then I'll have turkey for lunch. So I think I'll still kind of stay on it a little bit, but I definitely didn't see a big drop either like I normally do.
In how many days though?
4, maybe a week.
Not as fast as he wants it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to be done.
Man.
I wanted it all to happen overnight.
Don't we all?
I know. I need that Ozempic shot, man. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, did you guys see that the Powerball is up to $900 million? So just shy of
wonderful.
$1 billion.
That makes the 450 you get really good.
I know that 450 million is what you would walk away with, or 465 in the one-time payout, and then that again is going to get cut in half, so 235. So from $1 billion, 2 things happening. If you take the payout and you pay your taxes, you are down to $235 million out of that.
I'd still love it.
Somebody's making some money here, and it ain't you. Somebody's cutting you in half, twice, which is crazy.
But, if you think about it, that's a lot of money.
That's still life-changing for 99.9%
it's life-changing for everybody.
of the country.
Oh, yeah, it's life-changing for everybody, for sure. You can live on a couple $1 million, they say now, with good investments. So, you'd never want for anything again.
I think if I won it, I wouldn't care about the other 600 million that I lost per se.
See, I would.
Really?
I would do the math on it.
You'd be walking away with how many $1 million, but you would still be frustrated about the... And I know I love what you usually say where it's tied to well, if I had all that money, I could... Right. What could I do good with that $600 million? But... Because
I did think about it. I thought, how cool would it be? I was literally thinking about this last night. How cool would it be to have an account where you had $10 million in the account, and then my wife could have an account where she has $10 million million in the account.
Just do whatever.
And it was it was all philanthropy.
Oh, okay.
It was all literally like if you saw something like Shaq does, you're out and about and you do something really big for somebody, or she has a couple ministries she loves that don't make a lot of money, like Shower Up. And I'm like, you could fund them for the rest of their time with that, and it's like,
they can grow and expand, yeah.
Yeah, go nuts. Do that. Because, I mean, if you took $10 million and you were taking a little bit at a time, it's still earning interest, and that's a lot of interest, and it would be continuing to grow. So you could continue that kind of generosity like all the time. And I just think it would be really, really cool. Now, I also did, inside of thinking about this too, think it'd be cool to be a part owner in a jet so that you never had to travel.
Part? You just think part?
Yeah,
you don't think you'd have your own?
No, it's not worth it. Because, again, you still need to be financially responsible, because then you've got a jet, you're paying for pilots and staff, all of that. When you're a co-owner and you're in one of those jet clubs.
Also, if you get to that kind of money,
yes,
I will blackmail you.
I know you can.
so that I can get I want.
Let me just tell you this, Rock. Based on what you know, that I know that you know, you will never work again in your life.
Yes.
You are completely taken care of.
Yes. It pays.
Yes, you're in my plan. And Gavin subsequently will have to be as well, because he's been in here when you've been talking.
Goodness.
So, Gavin, you...
Or you'll just have to kill him off.
Yeah. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Well, you watch too much ID channel.
Please don't.
I'd be like, you know what? We could give Gavin $5 million. He'll be fine. She's like, wow, we could split it.
Give me the 5. I'll just...
Like, are you sure about that?
That'll just be one more thing I gotta hide. It's fine.
I'll take $1 million. I don't need 5.
Yeah, this drawing has gone 37 times without hitting the jackpot, and it's said to be the third largest. So there's a lady that won $2 billion in one of these lotteries.
What'd she get?
I don't even know. Like $2 billion's worth it, because then you get $1 billion. No, again, 100 million 5 after. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I think the lottery is one of those things. I think we talked about this the other day. Like, having fun with the lottery and playing it here and there, I don't think it's a big deal. For people that have a gambling problem and this is your serious plan to get out of debt, or all your hope is in that, then yeah, it's a problem and you shouldn't play. For me, I do like when it gets really big and you buy a ticket and you have those few moments that you dream about stuff. And for me, I was actually happy that, like, my dream, honestly, in this, because I'm pretty honest with God and stuff, like, as I'm praying with him and talking to him, like, I'm like, look,
praying about the Powerball.
Well, no. But, like, I'm like, the innermost part of me and how it's a mess and can be selfish or whatever. So, like, for me and thinking about this, I wasn't making a deal with God to win the lottery. But I was happy that one of my first thoughts outside of taking care of family and friends was like, man, what could you do to help other people and ministries and to really do big, grandiose things? Now, that shouldn't keep you from doing small things when you have a small budget. You should still be doing things for people, which I try to do, but it would having the ability to sit there and hear somebody's story. Like, part of the things I thought of, like, was like at Christmas time, when people are doing like layaways and you hear those stories of people paying off everybody's layaway, like, that would be amazing.
Take care of, like, medical debt for people.
Yes. Like, I just think it would be so cool.
I looked up to see how much that $2 billion Powerball winner, how much they walked away with.
What?
$997 million.
Okay, so they lost over $1 billion. They lost over $1 billion. $1 billion back to the government and to the lottery.
$997 million.
I understand that, but don't you see how wrong that is to lose that much?
I could look past it for $997.6 million. Are you telling me you would not be happy with $997.6 million because you lost $1 billion to the government?
I would have to come to terms with it. I do not like the government when it comes to taxes.
But you couldn't look past it for that much money?
Yes, I could eventually for that much. But the thing about it is, I would do the math on it, though. I would do the math on it. Like, where I'm older, so what am I, 55? I would be 75 by the time it pays out, because they pay you out over 20 years. So 75, I'm still good. But, like, I would look at it long term of what that does for your family. Yes, you could fund generations of your family for $1 billion without question. Like that's
you wouldn't be classified a billionaire. You'd be classified a millionaire.
Yes, exactly.
Big old millionaire.
You got it, Roxy. You get it.
That's ridiculous.
No, but I mean, if you took the payouts, I mean, because you're talking about such big amounts of money that you couldn't spend it all. Every year, like for what you're getting paid for every year for that $1 billion. So to lose $1 billion just because you want the money now seems short-sighted to me. Like I get it when someone wins $1 million and the payout isn't going to be a thing over, 20 years, that actually breaks down to not a lot of money every month. Like, so I get when people are like, I'll just take it and be done with it. Because even winning $1 million, while it is life-changing on some level, if you do the cash out, you're at 500,000, and then you take your government, you're at 250. Like, and that's a great sum of money. But for most people, that is not quit your job, sum of money. That's invest and let it grow for your retirement, sum of money. You don't fund your family and take care of your family and buy, a house for your mom with $250,000, and so that's why I think that's what I look at. It's like what you could do with it. But 900 million, that's
if you won 997 million, would you be here tomorrow? Like,
no.
Would you? I have a hard time. Like, I know that I should want to like work the rest of my life and do all this stuff. I think I'd take a gamble on just going somewhere. Just for a minute. I don't know.
I used to, what I would do. Is I would not leave you two in the lurch, and so absolutely.
Make sure we found another job.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd put in a resume at Cracker Barrel for you, Rock.
Been there, they won't let me back.
Yeah, no, I would make sure that my family and friends were taken care of. But I would stop working for sure at that kind of thing, and I would do more like philanthropic stuff, and I would want to do some work in Africa and things like that.
Your limits are massive on what you can go do with all that.
I'm always going to work. Yeah. Like, I'll work in some way, shape, or form.
But you just get to reshape what work means to you.
Exactly.
With that level of money.
Like, I would probably then do a podcast, like a once a week podcast. Mm-hmm. I would probably do that just because I enjoy it.
Doing your creative stuff.
Yeah. And I would also invest in the technology that I want to see happen for podcasting that doesn't fully exist right now, but I would invest in it. And then I would turn that into the business for making more money too. So anywho, but it doesn't matter because the Lord is never going to let me win the lottery.
Yeah, it's all fun to think about.
I know it's fun to think about, but I always talk about that. Like, it's like Marty's like, well, should we play? I'm like, that's fine, we can. But I'm like, the Lord will never let me win the lottery because money's always been a problem for me.
Or you will, and then you die.
Yeah, it's isn't it ironic? But like, I've always put my trust in my salary and my work and things like that, and it hasn't been till just recently where I've learned to let some of that stuff go. But if I watch the money too closely, I get stressed and anxious and tight about it, and that's why my wife does that stuff. I had to give it to her because I was like a wreck about it, and so. If money, like I was talking about when we first started this conversation, if money is where you find your peace, then that's not healthy. And I think God 100% knows that about me. So with all the good stuff I'd like to do, and I also know that I've been poor and I've been wealthier than I am now, and the other was less set of stress. Like if your AC unit burnt out in your house and it was $20,000 to fix it, but you're wealthy, you go, okay, it's not fun. But you're like, okay, it's not crippling. Mm-hmm. Or you have medical debt, it's not crippling. So if I had the choice to live either way, I mean, honestly, I think most people, if you're being honest, would say I would rather live with money and live well, But let me see. Oh, this was a weird story. This is right up your alley, Lady Rock. The dress that broke the internet. Do you remember years ago, the dress that people either saw it as blue or gold? I think it was a white dress originally, but when you looked at it,
blue
you
and
saw
black and white and gold.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Yeah, and you saw it. Everyone saw it, and you saw it differently from what it was based on the picture. But man, people debated that for quite some time. There's a whole weird backstory. You saw this, right, Rock?
about what you're going to talk about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a weird thing. So this family, they were at this wedding when this picture was taken, and people were talking about it. They even went on the Ellen DeGeneres show and were given like $10,000 for this and stuff like that. Well, it turns out not all is perfect in paradise. It's a Scottish dude. He was the groom, and it was in 2015, and he now is been reportedly charged with attempted murder of his wife.
Yikes.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Like I think it's because she saw it as blue and he didn't.
Oh,
I can see where that argument might go.
I felt like one of mine was going to go that way. But I mean, when you look at this, and like this was a story that so many of us knew about, and it was crazy. But then you like, how did it get to this point in this broken of people? It just feels weird.
Just goes to show you don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know. But it'll be on a new Dateline episode, I'm sure. And I'll be there.
And you'll be there 100%, like front row.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Rock, what do you got?
A Craigslist scam is going on in Nebraska, and it just happened to a woman. So here's what happens. There's a post on Craigslist, and it says, hey, it's a job posting to take care of someone's sick family member. But what they do is they want you to go and follow their instructions, like get things for them, things like that. And then one of the tasks is to go to the bank, go up to a bank teller, and then you hand your phone to the bank teller because you have on your phone the person that just hired you off Craigslist.
Right.
They're supposed to tell the teller, this is how much money we need. Can you hand it to this person? But instead, what they tell the teller is, this is a bank robbery, so give them what they need, or kind of thing. Well, anyways, so this woman accidentally fell for it, and she accidentally robbed a bank.
Wait, this really happened?
Yes, it happened to a woman in Nebraska, and she was arrested. And when she tried to explain like what happened, like, hey, this was somebody that I didn't know that this was going to happen, kind of thing. Like, so they're just warning people, if you are going to answer the job listing on Craigslist for someone, don't do it.
It seems so far-fetched that it would get to that point, and like that this person would be completely unknowing in this.
I would say that, but I have been selling a lot of things lately on Facebook Marketplace, and I've come to find that there are people like that do exist.
Sure.
Where you think, how have you made it this far in life?
I know.
I'm not sure.
People that get scammed when they're on the phone with somebody or whatever, and they're like, "Okay, well, we need your social." Like I always like they'll go, "Okay, so what's your social?" I go, "Well, you called me. You should know it." Well, just give us the last four. Like, no, you tell me what the last four are, and then they won't because they can't. And you're like, "Okay, you're a scam. Goodbye." This one lady, she was telling on TikTok about. She got a call from her bank, and it looked like the same number as her bank, and it was really well done, and they kept asking her for this. She asked to be, she's like, well, it feels like this could be a scam. Can you send me to your supervisor? They send her to somebody else. And so it seems really legit. And the things that they were telling her, okay, well, you just need to do this. And then finally something still wasn't sitting right with her, and she's like, you know what, I'm just going to call my bank, and hung up on them and called, and it was a scam. But they went way in and were really good at it. And
at that point, you're like, why don't you just get a job?
Yeah, go be a bank teller.
Right. Like, if you're going to this much trouble to trick people, why not just get a job?
I wondered about that too. Like this, and this is so horrible, but I'll say it. Like when you see people on the side of the road with their signs panhandling, because this one road I go, I see this guy like during the week every day, and like the ones that are selling the papers, like they're part of that community and that ministry or that charity. I always buy from them. I always do. There's a couple guys I always buy from, and I have zero problem doing that. But it's the ones where it's a made up sign and they've got, my family is here on the side of the road with me or things like that. You're just like, and like 2 doors down, there's a company that's hiring, and so I have less compassion for that. But like when I was driving by this one place and I saw the guy and it was a Saturday, and I'm like, oh, that's good. He doesn't have to work weekends. I'm like pretty good if you're scamming all week long enough to where you don't have to work weekends.
Wow.
You've done pretty well for yourself.
Well done. Well done.
So
yeah.
What are you going to do? All right. What do you got for birthdays?
Well, I have a few.
Oh, good.
This one is Caleb is celebrating a birthday today, and a lot of people wanted to wish him a happy birthday.
Oh, good.
Like Heather, which I think is his mom. Also Jeremy, which I believe is his dad. And then Nate, his brother. They all want to wish him a happy birthday, and they each sent in separate birthday shout-outs.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Good for them.
They said Caleb is kind, smart, and has a great sense of humor and is the best disc golfer player I know. His dad said he is spending his summer serving as a Christian at a Christian camp.
Oh, cool.
He is the 4th generation to work there. I'm very proud he is my son.
That's awesome.
His brother said he loves disc golf, anything creative, and has made 4 board card games and has sold multiple copies of them.
Oh, good for him.
That is pretty cool.
Did you guys ever sell anything when you were a kid? Like, not like cookies, but did you ever like make anything? Like this kid made like a thing to then try to sell and make these games. Did you ever do that?
No.
A buddy of mine and I in like 4th grade, we said we wanted to make comic books, like just on, writing paper in during class. And then we were like, we're going to like do this. And then we're going to sell them to our friends. We're going to make a lot of money on this.
How'd it work out?
I didn't.
Okay.
We stopped.
Yeah.
We weren't good drawers.
Yeah. You're here now. You know, it's like, it didn't work out.
Not a comic book guy.
I actually made body boards, like boogie boards, when I was in high school.
This was like not part of a job that you had. Like you literally on your own.
I called it bullet body boards, and I only made a couple of them. I took a surfboard blank and then cut it and shaped it by hand and made a fiberglass version of, the little boogie boards people ride. And so I made a fiberglass version of it, painted and glassed it and everything like that. And I sold like 2 of them. And then I just kind of stopped because I wasn't happy with like the job I did glassing it. Like I could have gotten better at it, I think, but it wasn't. I don't even remember why. I was like, okay, I'm going to stop this. Because looking back on it now, I probably like making surfboards and stuff like that. I still like that stuff.
You could return to it.
I could. Yeah. Yeah, there are people that with engineering degrees and CAD programs now that figure it out. I did it all by hand. What do you got?
More soul.
Also, William wants to wish his brother Joel a happy birthday. He's a very creative person who is currently working at a summer camp.
A lot of summer camp
and
people.
loves cats. Hey, way to go, Joel. Okay, so we have questions from Caleb's family. They like would you rather questions.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have 2 of them.
Okay.
His mom asked, would you rather be constantly overdressed or underdressed?
Oh, underdressed.
Why?
Absolutely.
You go to a black tie event.
Yeah.
And it's like for people, like for kids that are sick.
Yeah.
And you need to wear a black tie.
Yeah.
And you show up in Bermuda shorts.
I show up comfortable and I'm like, hey, what would Zuckerberg do? This is my best hoodie, And so, like, I think just in general, I would rather be underdressed.
Depends on like what underdress means and like what overdress, I guess. But like if underdress meant like PJs and whatnot,
no, I hate that.
I wouldn't love that. But if underdress meant like, hey, like good joggers and like you said, like a hoodie or like a general T-shirt.
What if underdressed does mean PJs?
Oh, then I'd be overdressed.
What if overdressed is straight up everything, 3-piece suit, tie, all day long?
Tails.
I'll take that because I don't want to look like the pajama people.
Yep.
Pajama people drive me nuts, honestly. It's one of those things like when you're like at a Target and stuff like that.
Oh, I have a medical condition, all right. It's called caring too much, and it's incurable.
Really? I get it. High school kids. Hey, look, we got our Crocs on. We're wearing pajamas, and our parents can't stop us. Like whatever. But then I see adults do it. I'm like, that's such a horrible look. Like, have a little bit of pride. Like, if it was all you had, fine, I get it. But by and large, pajamas are not all.
But you're going to the car wash in coattails and
I would
shiny black shoes. I'm one of those pajama people. Hand me the pajamas.
You've never worn pajamas out though. You would never wear them to Target. No. Yeah. No. See,
I have worn them to the grocery store though.
No.
Yes.
No, you have not.
Who are you?
Yes.
What shoes did you wear?
These shark shoes that I have.
I feel like I've heard that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in a situation where my roommate was really bad sick and all she wanted were some grapes. And it was the end of the day. I'd even taken a shower. My hair was wet. But she just could not
still put on clothes.
Stand up and
No.
Yes. I was not.
I would still get dressed.
I just went as is. In like these black leggings, I've had my dad's socks on, so they're too big
black
for
leggings
me.
isn't bad because you wear leggings to work. Like I'm talking about PJ pants, the big baggy
checkered PJ pants.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so like leggings
but I had my
isn't bad.
Snuggie on. My hair was all wrapped up, wet. Had my glasses on.
Did you go to Walmart at least?
No, I went to Kroger.
Ooh.
I think Kroger.
I know.
Probably.
And I told her, I said, my luck is I'm going to meet my future husband here, and it's going to be right when I'm dressed like that.
It's a good love story, though.
Yeah.
They love you at your
worst.
No, I think that's where you could have missed your future husband there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, dude.
That might have been the day. That was God going, hey, you know what? You should spruce yourself up a little bit, and then this one's on you. This one's on you.
We have another Would You Rather, and this one is from Nate, Caleb's brother. He said, would you rather always have to walk around with a roll of toilet paper under your arm, or you can only eat while running?
Oh, geez, that's a weird one. I guess the toilet
paper.
I mean, at least it's...
You're going to an event that's helping kids with cancer.
Yeah.
And you have to be serious. You are crying up on stage.
That's an easy and then you just unroll it and you wipe your eyes with it.
And you were having a problem with pajama pants being too casual. You're up there with toilet paper.
You know what? Just here, do you need some?
As opposed to running and eating, like the only way that you can eat your food is by running. Is that what it said?
Yeah. Have you ever tried to drink a soda running?
Have a steak? You can't
Sounds
cut
like
it.
You have.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Like, you could, steak, you like nick an artery and die.
Maybe you cut it beforehand and then you eat it as you're done.
Speaking of nicking an artery, there was
throat.
A story of a professional surfer who wiped out, and I guess his skegs on the surfboard, the fins, they're really sharp, came back and hit him and cut his femoral artery, and he died. He bled out in the ocean.
Weren't you, you were doing something with like a friend recently?
Yeah.
Out like on the lake, and so like something you guys were riding, didn't he get like scratched
the
up in
prop
the back?
hit him. Yeah, he got prop dusted.
Could have been.
You hit an artery, you're gone.
Oh.
I split my toe open when I was surfing when I was a kid. Same way, I kicked to come out of the water, and my skeg just split my toe right down the middle. And so it's bleeding. So I go up the beach. I'm walking. I have all this sand in it. So then I go and I take a hose to wash it out so I can see how bad it is. And air is in the hose line. And it goes push, and then it shot it out, and it just opened my toe up, and I saw my bone, and I just was like, oh! I almost passed out.
You're gonna make
Gavin's about to pass out.
No.
So then my buddy takes me down to his house, and we kind of hobble down there. I wrap it up, and it's just covered in blood. And his mom comes out, and his mom freaks out and calls 911. And so the ambulance and a fire truck show up because they think someone's been bitten by a shark. Like his mom was like, hey, it's bleeding and it's fun and I'm at the beach. And I get there and the guy's like, oh, yeah. Do you want us to take you to the hospital in the ambulance? I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, I will drive.
Your dad would laugh at you.
Yeah.
Like, your dad was the one that hurt himself real bad.
Lost the end of his finger,
And you were throwing up on the way to the
Yeah, I drove him to the hospital with my head out the window because I was so sick. And like that dude was tough, man. Holy cow, my dad was tough. Like, my dad makes me look like I make Gavin look.
I don't know. You don't really make Gavin look anyway. Y'all both are just in it together.
Okay. Well, I guess that's going to do it for our Aftercast for today.
As always.
Thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.